You can't predict the future, but you can prepare for it. Arizona State University is building degrees for what's ahead, taught by world-class faculty who are shaping our future. Explore over 350 programs offered online at asuonline.asu.edu.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Join Scotty G and Coach Tim Lacombe Wednesday 10 to 2 at RGS Exteriors, 4235 Farm Road in West Jordan. Texas Tech has gotten what they wanted. Now we'll see if they can keep what they wanted. But
Cody got what he wanted.
Cody is Texas Tech. Brendan Sorsby, court decision this morning.
Out of Lubbock.
The court out of Lubbock, yes.
Lubbock County.
The court has reinstated Brendan Sorsby. They will allow for a 2-game suspension, which I think is Abilene Christian and Oregon State.
No, 2 games of his choice.
Those are the 2 games of his choice.
Yeah, but make it even more preposterous.
Back for the Friday night conference opener with Houston. It can be appealed, so this isn't the final word, but he got the decision, so he'll be eligible for Game 3 in the conference opener against Houston, despite the fact he gambled on his own team.
This is awesome.
Distinctions were made in the court decision because he bet on individual players to overachieve versus whatever the bet was on their performance, and his defense lawyer pointed out he didn't bet on his team to lose, nor did he try to manipulate a game, nor did he play in the game. So keep moving that line, and the line moves more.
You say he bet 40 times on Indiana football.
I want literal betting during games.
Players over on the sideline with their phone.
And they need to be mic'd up.
Guys, I'm taking the over-under on touchdowns in this quarter.
Bachmeier's running for this first down. But you can only be, here's the new rules. Defense can bet on offense, and offense can bet on defense.
We go now to our in-game betting analyst, the third-string defensive end over here.
But then when you move the bag back more, it'll be, well, your defensive players can bet on the defense if they're not on the field because it can't impact that play.
No, that's too much.
Oh, that's too much?
Yeah.
You don't want to see some corner tap his helmet, sub out, saying...
No. Because...
Put a bet down.
No, I want them not to be focused on their position coaches when they're not on the field, to be on gambling. Yeah.
Got the whiteboard. Yeah. They're drawing stuff up. And meanwhile, there's a guy like, I saw a prop bet in here I like.
Right,
what was it?
Right. We're going to get a pick on this play. Joe Blow is going to have a pass deflection. Player X is going to have a sack, or at least a pressure.
Exactly. We're calling a blitz on this play, so I'm taking a pressure over under.
And you have a little inside info. Because the offensive guys,
your in-game betting analyst is the third-string defensive end.
The offensive guys will have headphones on to listen to the defensive calls.
There's that famous photo. Game for Our Youth. You've seen it. It's been out there for like 40 years now, right? It's right before Joe Montana throws the touchdown pass. There's a timeout, and he's standing with the hands on the hips, and it's kind of casual thing. He's talking to Bill Walsh. You just Photoshop Ronnie Lott in there, like.
Yeah, right.
It's like, I'll put 100 on Clark to make a catch.
Yeah. You know the play. I mean, come on. If we're going to be allowing it, where does it end?
Well, so far, everything we thought we knew about college sports, when it gets to the courts, it gets beat.
So you could do everything Sorsby did.
Apparently. Yeah. You've got the prior. Right. Yeah, you'd cite the prior ruling.
Yeah.
Assuming it's held up on appeal, which seems inevitable that there will be an appeal. The reason we have these constant transfers where kids are transferring every year is the NCAA lost in court. I mean, it's not like they turned around and said, yeah, we think you ought to have multiple transfers. They went to court and they got beat.
And I want transfers within the seasons. You could be eligible during the season.
That would be, I think that original ruling the serious one, not the thing you just threw out there, was because
Everything is serious.
other college students can transfer every year. Why can't an athlete transfer every year? It's the basis. And to your point, you can transfer every semester. I mean, when we were in college, we knew kids who transferred in or out at a semester break. So that would work midseason for basketball. And I guess for football, it would work, hey, we need reinforcements for the semifinal game. Come on down.
Oh, and the postseason doesn't count. I mean, there are no rules. And when the college season starts, it'll be another great season full of exciting action with sold-out stadiums and record TV ratings.
And players we don't know.
All the stuff that matters. Who cares?
They all moved around.
Who cares
No,
if you know?
apparently, you're right. No, apparently. We don't know, but whatever. That's fine. Catch the touchdown pass, throw down the dunk, hit the big three, whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, they're only here for a year anyway.
Yep.
And so, like Kevin Young's roster is basically year to year. He's going to recruit players who go to the NBA, and then the other guys are going to leave.
Transfer.
Yeah.
Well, we just saw it.
Yeah.
And we'll see it again.
And as long as they go and do their thing, who cares? Now, BYU, you want them to represent you well, and the two guys who are lottery picks did do that. So this is beyond anything that I thought possible. When gambling was just known as the ultimate no-no, and it just couldn't have been done, it seems now archaic and ridiculous that Pete Rose wasn't a first balloter.
Because Sorsby's a third
What's
gamer.
going on with people in Cincinnati? I mean,
This is Sorsby and Rose.
Yeah. Right.
Rose was in Philly for 4 years. What was happening there?
Well, Sorsby's in Lubbock, and Sorsby, where was he?
He was in Indiana.
Indiana.
He was
yeah.
in Bloomington when the biggest thing
that's where
started.
it was, in Indiana.
Yeah, Cincinnati's like, don't put this on me.
Well, no,
yeah.
he was betting while he was at Cincinnati too, but he bet on his own team while he was at Indiana.
Yeah. Right. In Cincinnati, he didn't have time to gamble on the games because he was the starting quarterback.
Well, he was
too busy.
He was still betting, and then he moved to Texas where it's illegal, and he was sending money out of state to people to bet for him.
Yeah. No, I mean, all that is just added on. And somebody in Lubbock County, you're eligible.
I want to be able to go home
And
tonight.
then I read the rules. I read some of the comments, and the guys, if you think this is wrong, you don't understand the rules. And you open up his Twitter feed, loyal Texas Tech Raider. Of course
there's
you are.
no chance he was
It's
a Texas.
all about winning.
There's no chance he was a Texas Longhorn
Houston or whomever. This is I don't see how they
Although
can
the
do
judge,
this.
didn't you say the judge was a Houston Cougar?
but
The original judge had dual degrees from Texas Tech, both undergrad and law school.
Yeah, and so does he want his tires slashed? Look where he lives.
PK, he recused himself
That's
from
the
this
first
case.
one, not the second one.
The second one is a Houston law grad.
And it's in Lubbock County. He don't live in Houston.
No, but he is actually from Tarrant County, which is over near Dallas.
BFD, where does he live? Where does he live his life?
He lives in the
lives
Lone
in
Star
Lubbock. He could have gone
Wants
to
to be
the
able to
moon.
walk.
I don't care.
Wants to be able to walk around town without getting the evil eye from everybody.
Yes.
78-year-old
This is Texas
grandmas.
Tech.
You wrecked
they
our
have approximately
season.
0 professional teams in that community. And Cody Campbell is the most popular guy. I pull in the parking lot at the Cowboy Stadium, and in the back of the truck, I see a sign that covers the whole window that says Cody Campbell for president. Yeah, and he's on the Board of Regents. I think he's the chair of the Board of Regents. He runs the friggin' town. How do I know that he didn't slip the guy or the third party didn't slip him money? Not saying that happened, but everything is, if it's the Wild Wild West, then it's the Wild Wild West. And if it is that, the WWW, it's just like the WE. Anything goes, man. It's wild. There are no rules. Do whatever you want. Yeah, Sorsby, go out and bet today. What's the difference? Bet on whomever you want. Why stop now? Once you have an addiction, does it ever really go away?
The Knicks.
And gambling? I've been around gamblers my whole friggin' life.
Any of them ever stop?
Yeah, when they lied and told you they did. And that's the reality of it. I've got family members, and when they talk about gambling, I don't believe them. And I tell them, I don't believe you. Because it gets in your blood, man. I've seen it. That's why I got out when I was younger. And I went to the racetrack 3-4 times a week from like 13 to 20. But I didn't have any money, so I'm running around $2 bets here and there. But then you start getting and you get a little success. Or that's why I transferred out of NAU.
Too much chaos.
The gambling that was going on in the dorms. I told myself, there is no way I'm going to graduate if I stay here. No. That 1.6 wasn't working. And this is a true story, man.
It really was a 1.6.
I kid you not, man.
Okay. Seriously, when you said that, okay, that's funny. But no, it really was a 1.6.
Because
that's why you would say you're not going to graduate.
I recognize the situation.
You're below the Mendoza line.
I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Or I am not going to survive. And I'm paying for it. Mom and Dad ain't paying for it. They didn't pay a cent. I'm paying for every penny.
And you've got a mentor in your ear. Well, maybe you had sisters in your ear, too. You had to graduate. Yeah. You got to graduate. You got to graduate. You got to graduate.
Yeah.
They knew about your 1.6?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Keep that detail.
But I knew, and I got put on probation.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to get, and I went to what is recognized as a big-time party school.
Yeah.
But the reality is, when I went there, I got lost. Nobody knew who I was.
Yeah.
I was by myself. There's 50,000 students running around. I got no friends. I'm by myself.
But you were separated from a lot of bad influences.
Yes. So
a lot of noise.
And I was able to, and I was working 25 hours a week. I worked at Taco Bell when I was at NAU.
The busier you are, the less trouble you find.
Right. And it was grow up time. It was either you're going to make it or you're not. And you're going to be stuck working a construction job in 110 degrees. And so gambling we joke about it, but it's not a joking matter when you get down to it. I mean, I've had relatives who were imprisoned because of it. And this is crazy that what happens. I knew a kid who my wife taught at Washington High in L.A., which is in South Central, 108th and Denker. It's right below the flashpoint of the riots. And he then went to ASU and got caught up in that. And the kid was a good kid. I knew him. I knew his family. My wife knew his family. And he got caught up in that, and it just spiraled out of control. And then you're trying to make up for it. You think you can make – we'd all heard it. You don't have to be on the inside to know the stories. We all know the stories. And where's this going to go now? This isn't about Brendan Sorsby. Where's this going to go? How many lives are going to be ruined because of this?
There's no telling. The gambling ads are nonstop. The only thing that matches the gambling ads when you're watching live sports right now is the ads for drugs for whatever ails you. And they're selling everything.
Yeah, and be responsible with gambling. That's going to solve it.
There's two things in these ads that always catch my attention when I'm drifting mentally during a commercial break. And one is in the ads for the drugs, there's the pause, and then they say, it could destroy your liver, it could destroy your kidney, it could destroy your lungs, it could destroy and they all these what ifs, be careful if you start,
And you're asking 18-year-olds to be careful.
Yeah, and then in the gambling ads, it's there's always a number for Gamblers Anonymous to get help. Call this toll-free number. Then the print's always small. It's always said really fast. Maybe they even speed it up a little bit at the end of the gambling ad.
Right. That's just something that's a disclosure that doesn't do anything.
So both those ads, there's a lot of money in the medicine and there's a lot of money in the gambling, but they have to do this disclosure to make it okay. But that's all done by lawyers. And that's all done by insurance people who are essentially lawyers' first cousins. How do we cover ourselves? It's what you always say, follow the money. Yeah. That's why those disclaimers are there. So we're covered.
Live footage inside the courtroom in Lubbock.
It's a Saturday Night Live skit with two guys who are both hilarious. Those two are hilarious.
The judge, what's Keenan's last name? Is it Reynolds? What's his last name?
No.
Thompson?
Yeah, Keenan Ivory Thompson.
Keenan Thompson, yeah.
And who's the Pete guy who's got the tats removed now? His name's Pete.
Yes.
Pete Davidson?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so the judge is now, and that Kenan Thompson has the best comedic face in the history of all time.
He gives you the sly side eye,
you can't help but laugh.
You start giggling.
Right. And so he's shaking hands, and Pete's over there giving him a bro handshake. Mm-hmm. That's what we got going on now. Yeah, a judge in district court in Lubbock County, Texas, granted an injunction.
So, Yak, you can do you're good at this kind of stuff. How many appeals can there be? Does this end up in front of the Texas State Supreme Court or what?
That's the thing. You probably got 2 rounds of appeals here. I think there's the Texas Court of Appeals and the Texas Supreme Court. Now, you could appeal it to the United States Supreme Court as well, but he also wants to enter the NFL supplemental draft, which is supposed to be deadline is June 21.
Well, there's no need to enter the supplemental draft now and risk money.
Yeah, I
You're
agree
losing
with you on
$5 million. And the judge says, well, he'll be irreparably harmed. Yeah, well, duh. Anybody who's going to go to prison is going to be harmed.
I just wonder how much his legal
I read
fees
that.
have cost
You thought I was like, yeah.
No kidding. There's no consequence for the action.
How much has he paid in legal fees to get this ruling as well?
They're probably, as long as you win, they're probably giving him for free. Pro bono. Pro Sonny Bono. So, man, this is crazy. I just wonder, where's it going to end now? Where do we go? And so cannot a pro then? And it's because if you take him out of that or her out of the sport, you're going to do that individual irreparable harm. Well, no, you what?
There was who was the wide receiver who got busted for gambling?
Jamison Williams. He got 6 games, and he didn't even bet on his own team.
It did him up for irreparable harm.
Wasn't there a Falcon I was thinking of who missed a whole year?
Yeah, you're talking about Calvin Ridley.
Yes, Calvin Ridley. Yes.
But there have been multiple guys who've been deemed in this instance. And the other thing is the NFL will have their say on his status if and when he enters the draft. Because they don't take lightly to guys betting on their own team. Because to BK's point, if you are an addict, you are considered an addict for life, aren't you?
Yeah.
And
It's just
the NFL is going to have that
back.
question surrounding this kid forever.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Everything you missed in this show next. Stay with us.
3, 2, 1. This is Scotty G and Coach Tim LeCoq.
Look, private equity doesn't like to add costs. They like to limit costs because they have a bottom line that they have to hit. I just hate when you've got somebody who has been working in the marketing department forever or who's been a sports information director forever, and they're doing their job and they're busting their butt and they're trying to tell good stories, and those are the guys that are going to get affected.
And to me, it's just a direct response to BYU having all the money they need at their disposal, a built-in way to fund the program. There's nothing about this deal that screams win to me. I don't like the feeling of it. Matt Hayes summed it up best at the end of his article. He said, this is the same Utah Athletic Department that wanted so badly to push out football coach Kyle Whittingham at the end of a 10-win season, but was willing to pay him $13.5 million over the next 2 years to do so.
Catch Scotty G and Coach weekdays from 10 to 2, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I'm here on a job site with Tim, who owns his own electrical contracting business.
3 employees and 2 work trucks.
Tim traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance. We're positively here where he needs us most.
They sure are.
With step-by-step help on all his insurance needs, all for shockingly low rates.
Shockingly low, huh?
Just a little bit of electrician humour. Do you get it?
I got it.
It feels like we have a real connection. All right, I'll stop.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Picking second will...
Personally, I think we really don't care too much about, the winning streak or anything like that because, all that's in the past. I think to us, is 0-0, and we just try to take it one game at a time.
this is everything that I wish for. So there's no reason to really overthink it. This is what I'm built for.
Slacker Radio Headlines brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary. Call them at 1-855-TRAJAN1 or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. Just heard there from Wemby. He is built for this. No intimidation. He's ready to go. Win Game 3. 2-1. Oh, the pressure's on in Game 4 then.
Yeah, this is big-time pressure for these guys. I mean, the Spurs coming back from 3-0 seems highly unlikely. So let's see what they got going forward here tonight. I mean, it's not like it's an impossible task. It's difficult, but it was always going to be difficult, whether they were up 2-0 or it was 1-1 or whatever, 3-1 or whatever. Whatever the series might be, every game is going to be difficult, but I don't think it's impossible. You get down 0-3, then if I'm Sorsby, I'm putting a lot of money on the Knicks.
Nice. Way to tie the hour together. I like it. If you were here for the last segment, Brendan Sorsby has the restraining order he wanted. Got the court decision he needed. He'll miss 2 games. He'll be eligible for that Friday night game, Houston and Texas Tech.
I wonder if he thought it was going to come. I bet he didn't.
You thought, yeah.
No, I don't really. The idea being, I bet.
Oh, I bet he did it.
Well, okay. There was an account I saw earlier that said how much of this was like a play for him to lower his Heisman odds so he could get in on the ground floor with something crazy.
Yeah. Unintended consequences, right? We didn't think about that. We didn't think that all the way through.
So, anyways. But nice bet, Joke PK.
You did reference the Bridges sound there. You're like, well, that's the voice of experience, right?
Yeah, he was with Phoenix. He was one of their players when they went up 2-0 Milwaukee.
How'd that work out?
That's a franchise that has never won. They've waited longer than 53 years.
Trying to do the math?
I think they came in like 1970.
They were in that coin flip, so I thought they came in 69. But
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 69, 70?
But the point is it's...
or 68, 69.
It's been longer. It was before 1973.
Yeah. And they've never won it. They've had 3 chances. 3 finals appearances. And so they lost. They were up. I don't remember where the games were. My guess is they won the 2 in Phoenix and then went back to lost 2 in Milwaukee.
57 years, according to Wikipedia. 3rd longest streak behind the Kings and Hawks. Clippers, Knicks, and Jazz. 6 teams are over half a century right now.
Well, when you've never won it, whether it's 30, 40, 50, whatever.
Yeah.
They've never won it. So here we go. See what happens tonight. Critical game. I mean, the Spurs have a brand new life if they win.
Gives them hope. Puts the pressure on the Knicks in Game 4.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to squander a 2-0
Be
lead.
up
in which you
2-0
won the
coming
2
home, and
yeah,
they have to go back to San Antonio 2-2.
Right. That to me, that would be very difficult psychologically. But, not to Sorsby thing. I mean, if I were betting, which I never would, I would go with New York. I think they've got the momentum. They have the confidence. The Spurs, it's just not their time. Whereas the Knicks they're just a mature team.
Phenomenal.
Compared to San Antonio.
13 straight playoff wins. They were down 2-1 to the Atlanta Hawks. There was nothing to suggest this was about to happen, and yet it has.
Yeah, I always thought they were going to beat the Hawks, though.
Sure, but you didn't have them win them 13 in a row and going to the finals.
I never would have anybody doing that.
Right. Yeah. The East looked wide open. Man, they're the team that charged through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
I mean, what Vegas has done in the Stanley Cup final, because they were down 2-1 in the first round also to Utah, and they've gone 13-3. And that's impressive, but at least it's precedented.
Well, more reasonable.
Right.
In terms of comprehension.
Yeah. As opposed to 13-0.
Right. Yeah, that's just amazing.
We talked with Steve Cleveland, former BYU and Fresno State basketball coach, about the NBA Finals. You can get that wherever you get your podcasts. And you also talked with him about getting a big man. BYU clearly needs one. And I get you got to have one before you have 2. But don't they need 2? I mean, if they go in with 1 and then they have another injury, we're going to be talking about
ideal.
the same thing.
I don't know if they need 2. I'd have to see. But you got to worry about getting 1. You can't be worried about getting 2.
You can't win them all until you win the first one, and you can't get two big men until you have one big man.
Yeah, unless it was the Lopez twins.
Package deal like Stanford.
Yeah. Or the Collins twins.
Also
both
like Stanford.
Those guys, yeah. It's kind of funny.
Chicago Bulls announced Stacey King passed away at the age of 59. Three-time champion, Emmy-winning broadcaster. 59. So young.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
That is a shocker. The golf over the weekend. How about Nelly Korda? Haven't you ever made a face or groaned or something when a putt just barely lipped in or just barely lipped out? That ball, the super slow-mo shot of that ball going in the hole to win the Women's U.S. Open when she had a one-shot lead, that's as close as it can come to going out and then drop in.
That's golf, though, man. You because there's plenty of putts where you think they're going to drop and they don't. So you take that every time. And she's a premier golfer. She's engaged, so we'll see how that affects her career.
The arc of her career here.
Yeah. Does she, in 3 or 4 years,
want to step away and have kids?
Yeah.
We've seen it.
It's a common occurrence.
Yeah.
With the
star after star, decade after decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. We were talking about that last week, and then I just channel surfing this weekend, and or maybe it was one of the weather delays. They threw on the New York Mets 30 for 30 about 1986, and Ray Knight is in it, and at the time, Nancy Lopez is right there. He was talking about an at bat, literally, I got this. Making eye contact with her in Game 6 before he went up there because he was part of that, the comeback and the ball eventually rolling through Buckner's legs. Yeah, and they were married at that point.
And she
walked away at the height of her powers. And who was the golfer from Ochoa?
The Mexican lady.
From Mexico, yeah. She was on top of the game, totally dominant. Mm-hmm. Annika Sorenstam, it's just the list goes on and on. So
Lexi Thompson recently retired after getting married.
So how do you, the Grand Slam, baseball, Grand Slam, 4 bases, right? Mm-hmm. 4 runs. And then the Grand Slam for men's golf and men's tennis and women's tennis, all 4 events, but they have 5 majors in women's golf. You win 4 out of 5, you get a grand? Because she's 2 for 2 this year.
I don't think that.
How does that work?
It is it's neatly packaged.
It is not.
As it is on the other stuff.
Right.
So, but she is right now the preeminent, certainly the preeminent American golfer. I mean, I think you'd also say even beyond the Americans, the just LPGA golf. She's the one everybody's aspiring to. She's the draw. Whatever money is available at the LPGA level, it's largely because of her right now. Now, others, she's on the shoulders of others that have built the game.
Right.
But right now,
but of the stars on the tour right now, she is the top star.
Oh,
There's no doubt. Right.
And I was watching her. I was watching a lot Saturday, and I could see her lurking. I said to my wife, "Oh, she's lurking. She's within distance, and tomorrow's going to be a big day." And sure enough, she gets the job done. Charlie Hull played in the St. George one.
A star, but not the star. But yeah, she was right there. 1 shot back. That lips out, she's in the playoff. We talked with Matt Larkin, managing editor and senior writer at Daily Faceoff. The Vegas Golden Knights up 2-1 after a crazy game. They had the 4-goal lead. They gave up 3 goals in 39 seconds, but they win in double overtime. When a puck hits the boards, bounces back, hits the goaltender's skate, and goes in for the game winner. As crazy hops go, that's about as wild as it gets. That was pretty weird. And now Vegas is up 2-1. And he talked about that. He thought Vegas in 7 when the series started. He hasn't seen anything that makes him think differently. And then you got him going on should the Utah Mammoth push the chips to the middle of the table, as Dennis Lindsay once said, and use some of these assets they have, some of the young players they have in the minors or junior hockey on their way up, get an established star and go for it, or should they let this play out over time? And he's of the opinion that they are a 100-point team next year if they just bring the group back and stay healthy.
Well, there's that progression that you can see. That's not outrageous, but jumping it up like that.
But he said 110 if they make a big move and stay healthy and everybody improves. 110 would be within reason.
Well, it's easy for me to say if you make the right move, yeah. If you don't. But I'm not the one making the decision.
Right.
My job, I get paid to second guess, not first guess. They have to first guess. And it's not, I wouldn't use the word guess with those guys. I think they're too much involved in it to say the word guess. It is, gamble, risk probably is a better word. What level of risk are you taking? If they acquire a star who comes in, whether it's Larkin from Detroit or whomever, and elevates them and they're in the Western Conference Final, well, then it's the right move. But if things collapse and they regress, then it's the wrong move. I mean, it's so simple to say, but for them, it is something that has to be weighed. Because then, could they wait a year or two? Because they still are young enough, some of their guys, some of their better players, that they could wait a year or two. But, man, and we just look at them as a 2-year deal. They don't look at it as a 2-year deal. They've been rebuilding a lot longer than that because in Phoenix, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And so
players, coach, front office, depending on, you're talking, 3, 4, 5 years.
And then you have to look at your competition. Who's prepared to win now to where you would be competing with them? Is now the time that you got to jump in. The Houston Rockets, the prime example, that was the time. They jumped in and they got their 2 titles.
That's and that's the thing that we frequently say with the NBA. The NBA, this year aside, seems more predictable. Now it's becoming less predictable as the 3-point shot becomes more predominant.
I think it already is predominant. I don't think it can become any more predominant.
And that's
that would help us if it does.
And that's why we've had 7 champions in 7 years, and we're about to have 8 in 8 years.
Well, yeah, I think that, but that I don't know if it's a 3-pointer. I think it's the fact that the Warriors were if the Warriors were 5 years younger, they'd be winning titles now. It's just their dynasty, their run ended.
Right.
If they were earlier, the 3-point shot being whatever, they would win now.
The salary cap rules have also made it hard to keep teams together and break them up. And that Warriors group benefited from the jump in revenue, and instead of breaking it up, they were adding to it. I mean, they brought Durant on board,
which was needless.
It was total overkill. It made it super predictable in that era.
Yeah.
But hockey doesn't seem to have the same thing. The nature of the sport is just not unusual.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the team with the best record.
It's not unusual
to have the best record and get knocked out without winning the cup.
Well, yeah, the best players are playing a third of the game.
Right.
That doesn't exist in the NBA, particularly in the postseason. Their minutes usually increase. Rotations get shorter.
They're playing 3/4 of the game or more.
And I was thinking about that watching the double overtime the other night. Guys, when they're on the ice, they don't really have time to coast.
No.
And so they have to go full speed. You wonder why they don't play longer is because a high percentage of the time, the nature of the game requires them to go full speed.
There's a lot of sprints.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stopping and starting.
Right.
And that takes a ton of energy.
Right. So you can see why they're not playing as longer. And the depth is important up to 3 levels of depth. You need to basically have 3 units, 3 teams, whatever you want to call it, 3 lines. Probably to use their terminology.
It's 3 pairs of defensemen, but there's a 4th line for the attackers. Mm-hmm. And how much you have in that 4th line, how much you can minimize. It's like having a 4th starter in the baseball playoffs. If he's awesome, it's such a luxury and it's an advantage. And if you can hide him and stash him, all the better. Get some production while they're on the ice so that 4th starter's on the hill, then it works.
It's going to be an interesting summer for the Mammoth. I think it's going to be a fascinating summer for the Jazz. It's going to be a higher level because the Mammoth already established themselves. The Jazz haven't. And they got to go about establishing themselves.
And watching the end of Game 2, when the Spurs had a chance, and actually you can go back to the Thunder series as well. They've had a couple opportunities where who gets the ball, when, where, and why, they got to tighten up the act. Now they got so many young guys, you get it. You know why they're making these mistakes, but that's why do the Jazz bring in a veteran guy. And when we brought that up with Steve Cleveland, he's basically like, well, if they draft Peterson, and you already have these other younger guys, how many roster spots do you have? How will they prioritize this?
Well, Peterson can be that guy you're looking for.
Except my thought is you want a veteran out there.
He can still be that guy you're looking for.
But he's not a veteran. Ace isn't a veteran. Keontae isn't a veteran.
He's a veteran now.
Who?
George.
He's a fourth-year guy, but he hasn't played a single playoff game. So if you're trying to build a team that's going to win in the playoffs, do you want to have someone who has playoff experience? At least one guy in that group.
You're going to have to rely on Jackson. But talent. That's what OKC had, essentially. I mean, they had some playoff experience, but minimal. But they had the talent. And they were going up against a team that had as much playoff experience as they did, except for Siakam.
Right. Siakam had won in Toronto. He went to Indiana, and he was the one guy in the finals who'd been there and done that.
So that sort of washed it out a little bit. It's clear to me that the Spurs simply aren't ready now, nor do I think their team is good enough.
When Wemby sits down, they're not usually very good.
No, and he's your go-to guy, but I don't know that he's ready to be a go-to guy. And because his perimeter skills are such that that's what he wants to do. He went 0 for 2. It was tied 104, and he takes a shot that was even longer than the game-winning shot. Nobody else had the ball in terms it didn't seem like they were immediately looking for him, and he's one of them. He's 7'4", but at the time, his height has zero advantage. Because he's not using it. He wants to be a perimeter guy. What's the point of being 7'4" and shooting jump shots? I can get Harper, Castle, the list. We know who the guys are. I don't like that, and that's going to be a problem.
And especially when it doesn't work. I mean, you wouldn't like if it went in, but if it went in, it'd be 1-1, and we'd be talking about something else.
Well, he had two shots. Neither of them went in.
Yeah.
And do I want him bringing up the ball? No. What's the point of being 7'4", bringing up the ball with the score tied and 13 seconds to go?
The only reason to do that whole point forward thing that Don Nelson started
He's 7'4", he ain't a forward.
Now it's a point center.
No, it's not.
It's a point skyscraper.
It's a point wrong.
It's because the guy defending you usually can't pressure you. And so somebody else will bring it up against pressure.
Brunson was right there to pressure him.
And that was
in the
to your
back
point.
court, 80 feet from the basket.
And that's your point. If he can bring it up without facing any pressure, fine. But when he faces pressure, how high does he dribble PK?
Well, yeah, the length of Brunson's body.
As tall as Brunson, yeah. How's he going to dribble and keep the ball close to the floor, which makes it harder to steal?
Right, and at that point, the seconds are ticking away.
The other thing is to put him in the middle of the court and to relieve the pressure, throw the ball to him up high, and then he pivots and looks down court. It's just two quick passes.
But nobody
bang, bang.
went to get the ball. Oh, they have four guards, essentially, and nobody went to get the ball.
Yes, and there's the play.
And Mitch Johnson over there, he probably didn't even tell him.
And they've been talking about this on TV this morning because they showed the play in the Thunder series where Wemby had the ball and he threw it up court and hit his teammate in the back. I think it was Castle, but it might have been Harper, but I think it was Castle. And he's like, well, you're the point guard. I'm going to throw you the ball. And the guy didn't even turn around.
But he's not. They don't have one.
And there you go. All right. DJ and PK, when we come back, your feedback next. Stay with us.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
DJ PK, it's time for your feedback. What do you have to say about today's show? Should we do that or should we just do Cody Campbell's feedback?
Whatever you want.
Texas Tech booster and board chair Cody Campbell to On 3 on Brendan Sorsby being declared eligible by a court in Texas, in Lubbock County. He's going to have to miss the first 2 games of the season, but he'll be eligible for Game 3, Texas Tech Houston Big 12 opener on Friday night, if it withstands the inevitable appeal. So Cody Campbell, this unfortunate situation is the outcome of a broken system. I'm doing everything I can to fix it, but until there's a permanent solution, Texas Tech and its student athletes have to do the best they can to navigate and compete amid the chaos that exists in the reality of the world we live in. This is what is the term the kids use, Yak?
Bull crap.
Sanctimonious BS.
No, that's what your elders use.
No,
we would have labeled it BS.
This isn't the system. This is not
the system. The
this
system
is
is
old as time.
The system is he's suspended. This is turning the opposite. Gaslighting is the phrase I thought you were going to throw me.
The gaslighting.
Because he's set upside down. He says, commit among the chaos that exists. You're creating the chaos. The rule's been in place forever. You get busted gambling. You're suspended for a year.
This is the one rule you can't bet on your own team. It was hard and fast.
So there are people who've gambled on their own team in the past who've missed a year. There have other people who've been suspended for a lifetime.
Hunter Deckers at Iowa State. He was a quarterback who bet and was exiled from the NCAA.
But 2 games, this is the chaos. This is gaslighting.
Those are big games, though. They lose those 2 games, man. I don't think they're going to get in.
Not losing their money game. And then they got Oregon State, who's coming off, what did Oregon State do last year? 10 losses? Or was it more than that?
But, I mean, you got to go on. You play a Pac-12 team. That's dangerous.
They were an independent last year, essentially.
Not this year. Who cares about last year?
Because they're rebuilding from that nightmare.
They're a Pac-12 team.
The reaction is largely, Cody, you're full of it. That is largely the reaction right now, the immediate reaction.
Follow the agenda. It will always lead you to, obviously, the motive. He has an agenda. He wants to win. He wants to win at all costs. He's a 50-some-year-old guy who gets his jollies watching his college team win. And he's going to do whatever it takes to get them there. And, I just don't know that they're ever going to get there. So, in essence, his money is going to be wasted year after year.
Yeah, but the chasing, it's the fun of it.
No, not for them.
No?
No.
He's not having fun chasing?
Sure, but it's always going to end in massive disappointment because he wants it all. A guy like me, if the Devils go 8-4...
You can have fun. They won the conference. They went to a playoff.
Especially if they beat the U of A. But that's good enough.
But you took satisfaction in winning the conference title 2 years ago.
Well, because it was so unexpected. But if it happened 4 years in a row, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And that's what Texas Tech is going to have.
But how much satisfaction did he take last year? Literally, you're the 2 schools that won the conference championship.
And then they got shut out.
Yeah.
But they're never going to be
Ohio State
good enough.
Yeah.
Because the best players aren't going to go there.
Some people will say things like, we won't get outbid. And in Texas, they don't have to say it because it's already understood.
But it's an outpost. There's guys.
No matter what Tech spends, Texas will call and raise.
Kids from the Midwest aren't going to be clamoring to go to Lubbock because they can get at least ballpark the amount of money. I mean, we had Todd Phillips on the other day, and he's talking about these kids. Well, he wanted over $300,000. That's too much. So examine this. To go to UVU to play basketball, you're going to get $300,000 a year? Sign me the crap up. You're not going to get that anywhere else.
That was too much.
You're not going to get it in sports talk radio or in TV.
Yeah. Right. Now, you can get it combined TV and radio. That's another.
Oh, now you're going Scotty G.
You said, no, I'm going sports specialist. You said TV or radio.
Yeah,
I know a guy not far from me who's a sports specialist who does TV and radio. I'm just saying, man, hey.
Yeah, you can say that.
I know, and I'm saying it accurately.
He's not making that.
Have we rebranded this the sports specialist and the other guy?
Yeah, the sports specialist and nobody. Sports specialist and what's his face? The guy who used to be on television before he got bleep canned for the second time.
Have you cut bleep canned yet? That drop needs to be in there. There's going to coach is getting fired. Major League Baseball, they could fire a manager tomorrow.
I could get fired. Bleep canned.
That's it. You just have to have that handy.
I'm running out of time as we speak.
When we come back, we'll be gone. Scotty G and the coach, Tim Lacombe, take over. 10 o'clock right here on The Zone.
Bleep canned.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk.